everyone, welcome to an original podcast content series, Campus to Career Tales, wherein we delve into campus hires career journeys at HCLTech. Today with us we have Kuldeep Gupta, a senior software engineer working in the digital business services at HCLTech. He joined us 3 years ago, is an avid reader and is a solid cricket fan. Hey Kuldeep, it's really fun to have you here and I'm really excited for this conversation.
Thanks, Shubhangi, for having me here.
So, moving on, Kuldeep, we will, start with the fact that we both joined from campuses.
Yeah.
And I joined from an MBA college, you joined from an engineering college. So, I would want to know what was the deciding factor for you to, choose HCLTech?
So the deciding factor, I would say, was the reputation of this company. So this organization is well reputed in the IT and landscape for the colleges. And for me, it was the training and placement officer, the TPO, who has set the image in my mind back then when I was sitting for placements. So it was also the college seniors who were in this company, and I heard a lot of praises about this company. So it gives a biasless opportunity to all the freshers. Even you are a CSIT engineer, or even if you're not a CSIT engineer.
So, I feel that when I remember all of these things, that what was the deciding factor for me, I feel obviously word of mouth plays a very important role. Like you need people around you to, tell you things because you don't know the company in and out until you're not in the company.
Correct.
So I feel for me, it was definitely the fact that the organization was very stable considering the volatile job market that we had. But tell me this, Kuldeep, so, how was the placement process for you considering, it might have been different. You come from an engineering college, I come from an MBA college. So we had different experiences when it comes to placement processes. How was it for you?
So yeah, it was a wonderful experience for me for the placement, from the placement perspective. As those were the COVID times, back then things were online to adapt from offline to online. So we had multi-level of filtering for us. The first round was quant apti filtering, then we had online coding test, and then we have a general HR round for us to filter out like who all candidates are selected. So I would say the process was very much transparent and very clear for me.
Yeah, I mean, when I look back and remember the placement process for me, so it was not a lot of technical rounds because obviously different domains. But then I did have a technical round. I had a, GD group discussion round and then an HR round. Okay, so amongst all of this, I think what the common point to note in both of our cases is that the process was very structured for us.
Correct.
And the communications were very transparent, right? So, moving on, how were the initial 6 months or the first year of your stint here?
So the initial years of my working here in HCLTech, like the initial 6 months or 1 year, I would say I was put into basic technical role as a fresher. And interesting thing here is like I was given the flexibility to move around other projects as well. I learned a lot in the initial months and that was a wonderful experience for me.
Yeah, because, I feel the culture of learning and exploring beyond that predefined box has always been in the organization, right?
Correct.
And so, but I would also want to understand, Kuldeep, that when was it that you decided to, upskill? Or how did your journey basically gear from there?
So I decided to upskill like when I was in my first project and I looked around like what other people are doing. And I understood
Learning from your peers.
Yeah, correct. So I understood that there are other advanced technologies on which I can work on, right? So there came the context of upskilling myself through various platforms and the different options I had, like learning from the peers, getting guidance from the managers and the team leads. So that was the starting point for me to upskill.
And then how did you start exploring the internal, resources?
So initially, I would say from the upskilling perspective, I tried to gather the information and the trainings from the external platforms which we have in the market. But later I found out that the tech stack over there for the software engineering, basically, that was very much scattered, that you won't get a complete package of what people actually do inside the organizations, but
from a practical point of view, right?
Yeah, from the practical point of view. And later I got to know that there are lots of internal platforms HCLTech provides, and those are really wonderful platforms, I would say. I have used them, and you won't need any outside platforms or portals to learn or upskill yourself. They offer courses of proficiency right from the beginner to the expert level, and they have a practical implementation as well in the work we are doing in our daily day-to-day activity.
Okay. And also the fact, I think you also get time to do all of these things, while working.
Yeah. That is a plus point here in HCLTech, that I get time to upskill myself apart from the work I do.
So, after this, I think I would also want to, maybe delve into the fact that how practically applicable are these courses, from an IT industry perspective?
Yeah, I would say like working on live projects, I found relevance in the courses I completed from the internal platforms. Considering the skills like Linux server administration, Google Cloud Platform computing, or the AI model integration. So those are very much relevant to what you learn and what you actually implement. For instance, I remember there was one course I completed. It was for Google Cloud Platform Engineer Certification course, and that is actually a very high-priced course. I did not had to pay even a single penny, and I completed it. I got the certification, and later I implemented that technology in one of the advanced project that was going on. So that proves the relevance of the courses which HCLTech provides.
I mean, these are a lot of technical jargons for me, but I hope people will understand
Yeah.
this. In continuation to that, do you really think that your work, your role impacts the organization as a whole?
Yeah, surely.
But why do you think so?
It is because it's simple, like the project I'm into, that has a very high visibility to the client, and it's very important for HCLTech too.
That I would, definitely agree with, because as a B2B company providing top-notch services and, supercharging progress for our communities, our clients has always been a top priority for the organization. But to add to that also, do you really think in terms of visibility and recognition, your work and your role and you are recognized that much?
Yeah, I think recognition and appreciation are very deeply ingrained in this organization. For anyone who works hard and works in line with the timelines, he does gets appreciated. For instance, I got appreciated multiple times, including the client appreciations, town halls, Employee of the Month awards. So there are a variety of awards and appreciation events that go on throughout the year. That is the only thing that motivates me to work harder every day.
And that is what our EVP also holds up to, our employer value proposition, that is find your spark. It also, it's a package of providing job experiences on your own terms, providing enriching job experiences and, giving that visibility and recognition to their own employees. Basically, I feel that, growing yourself and your career holistically is what the organization has always promoted to.
Correct.
So, it was a lovely conversation, Kuldeep, and I would, want to end it on a note that what would be your advice to freshers looking out for opportunities in this IT industry?
So the advice to the freshers out there in the campus will be, upskill yourself through the online platforms which are available. You should participate in the hackathons on the competitive platforms, and you should contribute to the open source technologies to rebrand yourself and to mark your spot like where you are standing in the global market. Those are the 3 pointers which I believe helped me improve my skills and get in here. That's the only piece of advice I would give. And finally, trust yourself.
That's a really great advice to end this conversation upon. So thank you for taking out time. It was a lovely conversation. And stay tuned for the next episode of Campus to Career Tales, wherein we will have more such fun, interesting and insightful conversations lined up. Catch you in the next one.